Anyways, so the Reggae Boyz U20 squad has officially been announced. What took so long? Some noticeable absentee. Yes, some noticeable absentee, and I'm sure a lot of persons will be furious about some names that they're not seen on the list. Nonetheless, this is a selected squad. I, for one, we have to believe that we have to support the squad that we are seeing, despite who we believe should be there, who's not there, these guys will be performing, these guys will be representing us. So for me personally, I'm now in full support of this team, despite what I believe who should be, what should be, or whatever. I'm here in full support for the squad. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we're gonna jump straight into the squad. Let me just run out the squad for you guys. So please just, as I said, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're here for the first time, I'm going to assign a face name. So look out. This is what I'm going to do, people. Have a look across the screen here. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to bring up the player. As you can see here, I'm just going to discuss a little bit, just a little bit on each player. So just stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. So I'm going to discuss on players that I know and other players, the research that I've gotten about other players. So just stay tuned for that. This is quite an interesting aspect of it. Anyways, alright, so I will be doing a different video surrounding players, the absentee. So this video has nothing to do with absentee. I'll be doing a total different video on that. Absentee. So we're going to look at that. Anyways, so let's get straight to the meat of the matter. Please do as I said, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you are here for the first time. So the squad, this is the squad. Let me just run through the squad for you guys. Akeem Bernard, Joshua Grant, Tywin Lynch, Romain Blake, Michael Forbes, Adrian Reed, Ronaldo Barrett, Ahir Dixon, George Grant, Kieran McKay, Alexander Bignell, McCaim Welch, Christopher Ainsworth, Brian Burkitt, Dustin Cohen, Denzel McKenzie, Rabino Gordon, Fabian Reynolds, Ashton Gordon, Nick Simmons, and Tyrese Gow. Pretty much a balanced squad in many aspects. I think like roughly 10 of these players are inside of Jamaica, and about 11 or so, or 10, the other 10 is outside of Jamaica. So those are the names, the 21 names announced for this particular CONCACAF U20 championship qualifications, or qualification championship, whatever we want to put it. So let's just assign some face and names, and let's just have a little discussion about each player and what we know about each player. So just take your time, people, and enjoy the show. Alright, so first player we have on the list here, as you can see, is Akeem Bernard of the Phoenix Academy. It's about 6'2", between 6'2", 6'3". Stout, huge body built. I think I think one of his biggest attributes is he has a very, very big kick. Can hit the ball from his goal to the next goal. So that is the first player. That is the first player we have on the list. Next player we're going to look at is, I think after Akeem Bernard, it comes Joshua Grant. Not a goalkeeper on the list, as I think most of you guys would have already known Joshua Grant, because he has represented us already at this level. Real Salt Lake Academy. Sorry about the picture. This is not the most recent picture because he actually cutting here now. Really, really good goalkeeper. Whenever he gets a break, like a mid-season break, he's actually in Jamaica training. This is something that I know for a fact. He's actually in Jamaica training. So he's a player that takes his career extremely serious. Very, very good young goalkeeper. We have seen him in recent time as well. So no, he's not really new. That's not a new face to us here in Jamaica. He's not new. Anyways, next up we are going to go is Tywin Lynch, Jamaica College goalkeeper. Really good. Out of all three, the best one with ball at his feet. Is very, very technical, an extremely technical player with ball at his feet. Good goalkeeper as well. But I think his biggest attribute is ball at his feet. Actually, he's a baller. So that's one of the reasons why he's so good at the ball at his feet. So definitely, that is Tywin Lynch. Another youngster. I think he represented us also just the other day in the U17. So both him and Joshua Grant were there. So very, very interesting. Now, next player on the list is technically my favorite, one of the youngest reggae boys coming up, and he's one of my favorite players. He's a player that I enjoy watching. A very, very, very good player. And I believe, from my perspective, in maybe 1 or 2 years from now, he will be playing in the senior team. I know many persons might disagree. A lot of you might disagree. I strongly believe that he will be playing in the senior team just in short order. A very, very, very resounding player. Technically gifted, read the football game extremely well. Leadership type of player. Even though he's kind of short, I think he's around 5'8", 5'9", but I'm telling the people, he is a very intelligent football player. Centre back, right back, both centre back, both left and right centre back, right back as I mentioned, right midfield, central defensive midfield. It's so solid in the central defensive midfield position. I hope that they consider that position as well. But as I said, he's really, really good. Chicago Fire's 2, basically the MLS 2, I think it's MLS 2, something like that. But definitely Romain Blake is one of my all-time favorite. I've seen a lot of Reggae Boys, but I strongly believe in this young man that he will be going places. Many might not agree with that, but it's my thoughts, still, people. So nonetheless, that's what I think. Anyway, let's go to the next player, people, which is Michael Forbes. I think he's listed here as Cavaliers. Yes, he's listed here as Cavaliers. I never seen him play for Cavaliers before, though. But nonetheless, he's the tallest player in the squad. I think he's about 6'4". He's about 6'4". A really, really, really good centre back. Can drive out with the ball, especially when you want to break the line. He's really good at that. Take the ball out of the centre back out of the defense line. Drive through break the first press. Really good at that. Actually good going forward as well. So that's the next player. Michael Forbes. I got a brain fart a while ago. Anyways, next up on the list we have is Adrian Reed. No, he's a youngster. Plays in midfield. I think Adrian Reed just turned 18. I think at this year Adrian Reed had turned 18. He's very, very young. Extremely young. But may I tell you, talented centre back. Plays centre back for Cavaliers. Also plays central midfield as well for Cavaliers. Time and time again you see both him and Ronaldo Bart in the midfield for Cavaliers. As I said, he's a really, really interesting player. But technically gifted. Really, really solid player. Represents us at many, many different levels already. So Adrian is not new to many of the support base. So next player we're going to look at is Ronaldo Bart. Solid central defensive midfielder. Cavaliers Football Club again. Both Adrian Reed and Cavaliers. Solid central defensive midfielder. Has left foot of a wonderful left foot. Long range pass, long diagonal pass, and break up play. He's really, really good. I think he's a very, very solid. And funny enough, you look at the players, the profile players that John Wall picking. These are some players that can play multiple positions, which is quite interesting in my view. So next up, we're going to look at our U17 captain, Ahir Dixon, who's actually at Woodstock Academy. Now, for those who don't know Ahir Dixon, also is from the KFA Academy as well. Ahir Dixon represents us as well, and also at the U17 level. Last year, I think it was last year, U17, yeah, he was one of our best players at the centre back position. So calm, so composed, really, really technically gifted player, solid defender in my view. Next up we have I think it's George Grant. We have on the list. So he's a player that I had to do some research for him. So I have the research right here. So George Grant is 17 years old, can play off Millsburg FC U18 team. He can play left back, not predominantly, but he can play left back. He plays right centre back and left centre back. Those are his strong position. As I said, just as a little bit of left back in him. So this here, as you see here, is George Grant. And next we have on the list is Kieran McKay. Now, this is another interesting player. Another player that I have to do some research on. Definitely another player to do some research on. U18, plays for the Millwall U18 team. Right back. He can play some right back. So as I said, if you look at the profile player, that Jean Wall is selecting, these are players that can play multiple positions. I think he has to do it because of the data, the match are situated. He's picking players who can play multiple positions and can suit many different systems. So that could be the aim behind selecting these type of players who can play multiple positions. So Kieran McKay, right back, not predominant, but right back, can play left back, left centre back, and right centre back. Those are his predominant position that he plays. Most definitely, he also can play in the central defensive midfield position. So all of these details I've gotten from SofaScores and cross-reference it with Transfer Market. Next player we have on the list is the central midfielder, box-to-box midfielder, also in some sense holding midfielder, is Alexander Bignell. No, Bignell, he's playing in Lexus, just recently gone to the club in Portugal, but his best attributes, I think he has a rocket of a foot. Both left and right foot kick the ball like thunder. Anyways, I'm kind of good in build up, in breaking up play. He's not really the most technical player, but he's good in breaking up play. And anything outside of 30 range, 30 yards range, he can hit that on target like a rocket. So it's Alexander Bignell. I think most of you guys that have known Bignell, who have seen Bignell, we know what Bignell has to offer. Next up we have is Mackay Welch. So Mackay Welch is also another player that I had to do some research for to find out about him. Leighton Orient of FC U18. So the thing is, there's not much information surrounding Mackay Welch, and I actually searched really hard, but he plays for their U18 team, and he just says that he's a midfielder, so not a lot of information surrounding him. I do apologize for that. I really tried with that one. So next player we have on the list is Christopher Ainsworth. Now, this is not a Cavaliers player, but he plays left back, left wing, left midfield, and also right wing. Has a powerful left foot, very fast, really good defensively. So as I said, just look at the profile players that the coach is going for. Some players who can play multiple positions, which is it's just quite evident right now. As you can see, that's a track record. But Christopher Ainsworth, a player that can play multiple positions. Definitely. So next on the list we have, I think this is now Brian Burkitt. Attacking midfield, right wing, left wing. And in some sense, box to box. But I do think that he is preferably in the number 10 position or on the right wing. So good left foot, really good left foot, smart, very, very intelligent player. Knows how to control a game, knows moments in games. So quite an interesting player as well. Next up on the list we have is Dustin Cohen Dada, Very United. Brian Burkitt plays for Dunby Holding. I mentioned Christopher Ainsworth. So Dustin Cohen plays for Very United, 17 years old. This year I turned 17. It's a I think this year I turned 17. It's a really, really young. No, sorry. He's 17 now, turning 18 this year. It's a really young player. And he has been playing Premier League from about, in the JPL, he's been playing JPL from about 14, 15 years old. Really, really good striker. He's Very United, one of Very United main striker. Also winger. Right wing, left wing, centre forward. As I said, look at the profile of play. Even though they put him here in a midfield, not necessarily a midfielder, it's more of an attacker. I'm not sure why they do that. But most of you guys that already known about Dustin Cohen, is not new. He's not new here. So definitely. Next up on the list, we have Denzel McKenzie, also one of my favorite players, a player that I love to watch, Denzel Washington McKenzie. Left foot, right foot, very, very technical, played high intensity, really good box to box, and also number 10. Now, I see quite a few times I see them play a bit high up the pitch. For me personally, I like to have him behind the ball, where he can receive, pick up the ball, turn. So he's that type of player. Box to box, number 10. And you can also play him. You can play him up higher. But in my view, I think he's more ideal to either the box to box or in the number 10 position. So Denzel McKenzie is the other player. Next up is Rabino Gordon. No, he's also a unique player who can play multiple positions. Midfield, right back, left back, centre back, and also right wing. So he's another multi-purpose player. Really, really good player. Physical, very, very physical, extremely aggressive, hard in tackles, quick to recover the ball. So another player playing multiple position. Next up on the list we have is, so this is one of the players that I had to do some research for, is Fabian Reynolds of Wolverhampton. He plays for Wolverhampton U18 team. He's a predominantly left winger. Also can play on the right wing. So far this season in the U18s, 12 appearances, 1 goal, 1 assist. So that's much information that I have on him. Let's move to the next player, which is, I think it's Ashton Gordon. Ashton Gordon is the next player. Let me bring him. So as you can see, that's Ashton Gordon. 16 years old. Actually, it's quite young. Atlanta Academy. Predominantly a right winger. Also can play centre forward. He also represents us in the U17 as well. 4 appearances and registered 1 goal for us in the U17 competition. Next on the list, let's see who we have here is Nicholas Simmons. This is also a player who have represented us already. Definitely. Nicholas Simmons, 17 years old. He's predominantly a centre forward. He played in the USL 1, 7 appearance, 1 goal. Also represented us at the U17 level with 1 appearance. So Nicholas Simmons, aka Nick Simmons, is the next player. And finally, final player on the list, definitely from Jamaica, Dunby Holding, is Tyrese Gow. And he has a set piece, I'm talking about, just like Denzel McKenzie. I didn't mention it, but he's a free kick specialist. Tyrese Gow is also another free kick specialist. So we have 2 free kick specialists in the team. Tyrese Gow is actually / a midfielder / attacker. He can play left wing, right wing, false 9, midfield, attacking midfield, box to box. So also another player who can play multiple positions. So as you can see, the profile of these players that John Wall is going for are players who can play multiple positions. So those are all the 21 players on the list. So don't think I need to go any further here, people. I get to introduce you to those players. So thank you very much for tuning in. What I want you guys to do, I'll be doing a different video surrounding players who I think could most definitely be there and is absent. So I'll be doing a video on absentees quite soon. So big up on yourself, people, on this one. This is just an introduction to the players, so you guys can know the players. Big up on yourself, smash the like button, hit subscribe button, and I'll see you guys again. Until next time, MG Sports TV. All people. Boom! God bless.